Monica, we've done a few deals with and all that. So, but yeah, we own Contract for Deed LLC. We help out clients that are struggling with getting approved for traditional mortgage financing with a way to acquire real estate, whether it's commercial, residential, multi-units, second home, investment properties, raw land. The only thing that we won't do is construction loans. And we've considered them in the past. So if you guys have one, feel free to send it over and we can talk about it. As long as it makes sense, there's a good chance that we'll do it. But yeah, so I'm a traditional mortgage banker by trade. I've been doing traditional mortgage financing for 16 plus years now. And I got into contract for deed because I wasn't able to help everybody. We'd have those clients call me that are self-employed, that expense a lot of their income, or new to the United States, don't have a lot of credit built up, don't have over 20% down to do an I-10 loan, and or wanted to do commercial loans. We can't help them there either. And I just wanted to help everybody. I wanted to have a solution for everybody. People with lower credit scores that don't fit into the box of conventional FHA, USDA, VA financing. I just wanted to have a solution for everybody. And that's why I got into it with Eric. And when I got into it, it was very taboo. It was very bar napkinish. There wasn't a lot of guidelines in place for contract for deed. And that's where we saw kind of an opportunity where we could come in and make it all about the client, but make it very transparent. We do estimated fee worksheets. We do final fee worksheets when we're balanced with the title company. We give the client all the contract for deed paperwork up front so they can review it with an attorney or their family or real estate agent. So we've kind of revolutionized the contract for deed space to make it just very transparent, all about the client. I'm here to answer questions for them at all times, just like Eric. We help with free credit repair too. So if that's their issue, we want to get them out of the contract for deed as quick as possible to get them into traditional mortgage financing. So that's something that we offer too at no additional cost to the client. But I'll let Eric jump in a little bit and tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll jump back in and tell you a little bit more about our company.
Yeah, kind of to piggyback on Mike. I've been in real estate, been buying real estate, and owning real estate for 20 plus years now. I own 150 plus different units around town, and it was kind of like Mike said, it was a thing that there's so many people out there who don't fit into that excuse me, that box that the bank needs, whether it's lower credit scores or income verification, or just being organized enough to get the banks all of the documents and document dump that they need every time. We've kind of seen it all and run the gamut on it, but we're just a great another tool to use in your toolbox to try and get more deals done, keep deals together. I'd say we break our business into probably three different buckets. One is first time home buyers from like another country, whether it's Latinos, Russians, Ukrainians. A lot of these people come over are heavily in cash, and they're just not able to qualify for a regular loan. I'd say another third of our business is small business owners who either deal a lot with cash and they're really aggressive on their taxes, or they're just not organized enough to get all of their documents together for a document dump. And then I'd say the other third people that we kind of help out are people who are struggling with credit, whether they've had foreclosures or bankruptcies or whatever. We've helped them not only buy new properties, but also save properties. So if you ever have a client who's, get in a position where they might be in a redemption period or whatever, instead of selling it to some kind of a shark that's coming out there to give them some money to walk away from it, we can step in, help them keep their home, and Mike can help repair the credit. And we're just really out there to try to help people that don't fit into that traditional box that the banks do.
Yeah, and to touch on what Eric said too, not even people that are just in their redemption period, but if you guys have a client that let's say they have a ton of equity in their home, and maybe they had some mortgage late payments or their credit's not perfect to fit into the conventional mortgage box to access that equity. We can also buy it from them and give it back to them on a contract for deed, and we'll give them equity out as well. So, and you as the real estate agent can facilitate that sale to us and still make your commission. So our goal here is just to, as Eric said, to try to help all of you get more closed deals per year, because let's face it, every agent right now, in my opinion, is kind of focused on the same thing, right? Looking at getting listings and then looking for that pre-approved buyer who's FHA conventional, right? Trying to get into a new house. And there's only so many buyers out there right now, but 50% of the buyer pool is non-traditional and not many people are marketing to them. So our goal is to help you guys market, become that person in your sphere that is an expert with creative financing. To then people will start coming to you that don't qualify for traditional financing, and you can set the introduction over to us, and we can help you guys close more deals. Doing it that way and kind of sticking out and not doing what every single other real estate agent is doing right now.
And anyone who's been in real estate for a long time has ran across and has done a bunch of deals, has ran across a client where you're basically ready to get to the closing table and something weird happens with underwriting where all of a sudden they're not approved for it. We just had one down in Prior Lake where the owner was buying a house and she ended up went out and bought $120,000 Tesla through her business, but she personally guaranteed it, so it still hit her credit. It knocked their DTI out, and they were supposed to move in 13 days. They already sold their house. The whole thing got hung up, and the lender was basically like, "There's really nothing I can do. You're gonna have to like get rid of the car, or figure something out. We're not gonna close on time." We stepped in. I think it was 12 or 11 days, something like that. We stepped in, did a contract for deed, held the whole deal together. She ended up, it took another 6 months. She refied into permanent financing. It cost her a little bit of money, but all the moving trucks were already there, ready to go. Everything was organized, and we ended up saving the deal. Everyone closed on time still. So it's not only for that, but it's also a tool for you guys to use when things at the last minute go south and you need another option for your clients to keep a deal together.
Yeah, and I sent out an email to the team. They should be sending it to you guys as well, kind of explaining our process, how it works with filling out the purchase agreement. I put together like an introduction example of an email for you guys to introduce them over to us. Some social media content ideas for you where you guys can do some videos to start sticking out in your spheres. For creative financing. So if y'all ever have any questions, I'm kind of the point man, so you guys can reach out to me anytime. I always take a traditional mortgage application with every client just to make sure that they don't qualify for traditional mortgage financing first. Predatory lending laws and whatnot. And I've had people reach out to me for a contract for deed where I was able to get them traditional financing. So people just, as you all know, you work with different mortgage lenders, and I'm pretty good at thinking outside the box. So that's why I always start. And then if obviously I can't do that, we'll talk about contract for deed, and then we'll get them right back over to you with what their budget is. But yeah, communication is what we're all about. So you'll see that if you work with other contract for deed companies out there, there's quite a few. I would say most of them aren't doing it nearly as well as we are with guidelines and just following state laws and things like that. So we make it really easy. I do the underwriting. We can close as quick as like 14 days now, just because the state put a new guideline out there for a 10-day right of rescission period. So we can close really quick. Very minimal documentation. I work with the clients to get what we need. The turnaround is really quick. So yeah, it's a really good process. So very eager to work with a lot of you. We work with Monica quite a bit. So if you guys have questions about our process and timelines and communication and things like that, you guys can reach out to her and ask her as well.
Mike, why don't you run them through like a couple different options that we offer so they can get an idea of like how much down and what things it actually look like.
Yeah, so we do, excuse me, we do minimum 10% down on a primary residence. Someone living in the property, 1 to 4 units if they want to move into it. and living it as their primary will go as low as 10 for the right client. Our commercial lenders make us put minimum 20 to 25% down per deal. So that means that we have to kick in, 10 to 15% of our own money. So obviously that interest rate is a little bit higher and the acquisition fee that we charge is a little bit higher. And then we do a 15% down deal, and our best option is 20% down or more. So it's a 3-year contract for deed, amortized for 25 years. We do have the ability to do a 5-year deal as well, if the client wants to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, all of this is in the email that I sent you guys too. So you'll have all 3 options that we have. As interest rates come down on our commercial loans, we also pass that savings on to the client. So we don't sit here and make a bigger spread. We want to get our rates as low as possible to help more people. So
Are you guys typically putting everybody into a loan after then? It sounds like you are, especially on the commercial side. So after you
so
kind of sign somebody up, you go get financing from some source.
correct. We have about 7 or 8 different commercial lenders that we work with. So it is finance contingent on the PA.
So you guys pretty much like 2 points higher than a standard loan.
Correct. You mean a standard traditional loan?
Yeah. Basically, if somebody took whatever credentials they have and then down payment, you kind of got like a 2 point spread or something like that.
Yeah,
Or is
I
it
mean
more?
it's about a 2 point spread on what current commercial rates are. But I mean traditional mortgage financing right now, I mean conventional with a couple discount points, you can get down to like 5.99. So with
Oh yeah,
20%, yeah, with 20% down, we're at about 9% right now, but we're off of commercial financing rates, not traditional financing
oh
rates.
I see.
Yeah, because we go out and get commercial financing to purchase the properties. So
Right.
but they are
Yeah, a
coming
lot
down.
of
That's the
times.
good thing. I mean, when the Fed drops rates, they're supposed to do it this month, next month, and all that. Our commercial rates will drop, and we'll update you guys constantly on what our rates are and things like that. But they're trending down, which is really good.
Seems
So
like a
how
lot of
about
times when people, locally in our spheres have they start to see these rates, they back off and they don't want to buy. I could see how you guys have that niche then with a lot of international clients because like you say, they're coming in with cash and it seems like that happens quite a bit in our company too. I fund a handful of houses for people and it seems to be a lot of times they're from like some of these southern continents here. Uh,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, if you want my opinion, I mean, now's the perfect time to buy. It seems like every listing out there is dropping price. It seems like buyers are waiting till after the election to pull the trigger to wait for all the other buyers so that they get in multiples. So I don't understand why the buyer pool is not buying much right now. But yeah, we're just another source for you guys that I deal with so many clients on a day-to-day basis that just they don't trust banks. They don't want to work with banks. They don't want to submit the thousands of pieces of documents in order to play that game to get approved for traditional financing. They want to give me a bank statement. They want to show me that they have money coming in, give me their tax returns, and just get the process done. So yeah, I mean, we're here to help you guys grow and just close more deals because like I said before, I think a lot of real estate agents right now are focused on the same client. And we do a lot of these team meetings. And I open up the playbook for everybody. I give them social media content ideas, video content ideas that they can go out and stand out in their spheres and be different than every other agent out there to grow more business, especially with winter coming and fall. I mean, I think all of you are seeing it. I mean, business is down. It's down this year. It's tough. It's hard to find buyers, but if you just step out and do something different than what every other agent's doing. I mean, we got a guy right now that partners with us. All he does is non-traditional buyers. He's a real estate agent. He doesn't help traditional buyers at all, and he's making like 25 to 50 grand a month. He set up a website that he drives traffic to his website. He has a questionnaire on there that need creative financing. They fill out the questionnaire. Once he gets it, he refers them over to us. I take the application with them to see if we can get them approved for traditional financing. Usually it's contract for deed, obviously. I send it back to them. He goes and finds them a house. So it does work. You just got to do it. I mean, it's not hard, to be honest with you.
Somebody tried to ask a question. I think, was it Monica? Is she
It
on the
was
call?
me. Yeah, it was me, Sean. How does the closing, I mean, how does the purchase agreement look? Is it a double closing? Is the purchase agreement addressed to you or is it to the client?
Correct. The purchase agreement is we're your buyer. So your buyer rep agreement is with us, contract for deed LLC. At the closing, the client pays the earnest money, and then at the closing, our client comes, you come as the agent. Our client brings the cash needed for closing and a cashier's check. Just it's very similar to a traditional mortgage process. We all sit at the same closing table. We purchase the property from the seller, which the seller is usually pre-signed at that point, and then we do a contract for deed with our client, with our title rep, and then we record it with the county. So it's kind of like a double closing, but it's very quick. They go about 15 to 20 minutes. We bring a gift basket for the client. We take a photo. We post it on social media. It feels very similar to a traditional mortgage process. So you can ask Monica too. She's done a few with us already that have closed. We think it's an easy process. She'd be able to tell you for sure. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Does anybody have any other questions for us or?
I have a question. So when they from the traditional closing with and a contract for deed, would they end up paying more for the contract for deed versus if they would have just went for traditional lending?
Yeah, I mean the interest rate is higher and we do charge an acquisition fee. So yes, I mean they're gonna have a higher monthly payment, but we don't have mortgage insurance either. So if a client's putting 10 or 15% down with us, they're not gonna have mortgage insurance, where a traditional mortgage they would. But yeah, the interest rate is slightly higher, but it all depends. I mean, if a client has a 640 credit score and they're trying to go do an ITIN loan with 20% down versus going with us, those rates are going to be probably very similar. If someone has a 780 credit score with 10% down, you can easily get 6.125, 6.25 with traditional financing right now. But if they don't qualify because their DTI is too high or they can't source deposits or source their income, they're kind of stuck anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, their payment's going to be a little bit higher and they're going to end up paying a little bit more in interest because of that difference.
So
With
that
contract fee.
acquisition fee, is that points up front?
Say that again.
The acquisition fee, is that kind of like just points up front?
So we have a couple different options, and I think I sent the email to everybody, which you guys will see it in our breakdown of what our acquisition fees are. So if a client has 20% down and they want to pay us our acquisition fee up front, it's 3% of the purchase price, and that's our best option for clients. But we can roll it on the back. So again, if they have 15% down, we got to put up 5%. The acquisition fee is rolled on the back end of the contract. Also with our 10% deal as well. So
yeah. So I have you guys, like I had one of our agents bought a triplex, and she's an agent and a loan officer. So she basically, what was she at? She was at, the bank was offering her 9.5 because it's a non-owner occupied triplex, and that's just the rate. And so she's also not fully documented because she's a loan officer, and a lot of not putting out a regular W-2 wage. So I gave her 80% at 10% interest only, and that was a fair deal for her because 9.5 from the bank, principal and interest, 10% interest only. So there's a ton of people that will fit in here.
Yeah.
Now I saw that you stated that you had well, here, I can wait. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, so I've been a traditional mortgage lender for 16 plus years now. And I would say 80% of the calls that I get on a day-to-day basis, 85% is contract for deed right now. So
Oh
it
yeah.
just shows you, I mean, the buyers are out there. There's just nobody marketing to them. That's, I mean, 50% of the buyer pool is non-traditional. They're looking for commercial property with not having to put 25, 30% down, right? They're looking for multi-units right now. There's a ton of people looking to grow their investment portfolio, but they don't know about these options, right? So I mean, if you guys just get out there and do some of the marketing that I put in the email that you'll see, and just start doing it weekly and being consistent with it, you'd be shocked at how many people just start reaching out to you.
Can you give us a reference to a web page? Like you said, one of the agents is using a web page, because some of us have pages that if they wanted to, they could just create another landing page. We could rip some verbiage, and create a
Yeah.
landing page.
Yeah, I didn't provide that. I don't want to give all my other
Kind of his
business partners
business, yeah.
secrets away, obviously, but if you guys have questions on it, just give me a call. I mean, I can show you what it looks like and all that stuff. But yeah, if you're really, I mean, he does a lot of EPO stuff, so he's smart with websites and stuff like that. So he pays money and does it himself to pop up high on Google searches. So that's where he's getting a lot of the traffic from. But again, anybody can do it. I mean, setting up a website and paying somebody to do some EPO stuff for you, it's not going to break the bank. And I mean, he's sending us probably 5 to 10 leads a week minimum.
Wow.
So, yeah. Now they
And
don't
then
all qualify, right? Because I still turn people down for contract for deed. I'm not like, oh, hey, you got money for, yeah, we'll do any deal you want as long as you got money. No, we still have like, if somebody has back child support and they're not paying their child support, that's just a personal one for me and Eric and our company. So we don't usually help people that have back child support, right? But I mean, tax liens, we can help people, bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sales, all that stuff. So yeah.
uh, you're you're trying to help people fix their credit ultimately, and then you guys try to broker a loan.
If we don't make them use me, so that's the beauty of it. We've gotten deals in the past from other mortgage lenders, and we always give that client back to them, right? We don't have small print in our contract for deed that state that they have to use me for their traditional refinance. If the client had a really good process and service with us, and they say, "Hey, Mike, we know you're a traditional mortgage lender. We really want to work with you on the refi." I mean, I'll help them and do it if they want to, but we don't require it at all because we don't want to
And
burn
then
any bridges. I mean, we pay a lot of money on our website too. And we also do a lot of EPO stuff, Google searches and things like that, keywords. So we get a ton of people going to our website directly, who are looking for a contract for deed that don't have a real estate agent that they're working with. And even though Eric is a licensed real estate agent, we don't take those deals, right? We don't want to double dip on anything. So we always give those back to our business partners who send us deals because we want to show value to you and never burn a bridge with any one of our real estate partners. So we have a lot of leads to give though. So that's another beautiful thing about working with us. We're putting up a lot of money on our Google search platform and EPO on our website to try to bring in as much leads as possible. So if you guys start utilizing us for your contract for deed resources, we'll send deals back to you as well.
And we also have we basically pay for a banking software. So our software system is the interface of it is very similar to like what it would be like if you were going to a bank. You have a secured login. You can submit documents, secured documents online. You can go in and see where your amortization schedule and your payments are up to date month to month. You can make payments online. You can do auto payments through it. So the interface of our software system feels very similar to as if you're doing it through a bank.
Yeah, and that's what helps us stand out quite a bit. The software costs us a lot of money, but we're trying to give people a really good taste in their mouth about contract for deed because it is a really good resource to acquire more real estate. And a lot of people they've done a shady deal with another contract for deed company who did equity stripping on them or whatever they did to them and left a really bad taste in their mouth. But we're trying to revolutionize it and put a good taste back in people's mouths about it, and just show people that it's a really good resource. So
And that's another thing. Like if you're buying a house, say for $250,000, that's the price that's the same price as they get at the end of our contract for deed. I know some of the contract for deed people out there were doing, you'd buy it for 250,000. They'd do a 3-year contract for deed. They'd say, well, the market's going to go up 2 or 3% per year, so we'll sell it back to you at $290,000 in 3 years. Ours is wherever you buy it at is where you buy it at. We make our 2% spread on it, and that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to be not the Mike doesn't like it when I say it, but we're trying to be the Walmart of contract for deed, where we just take our small margin on it and do more volume than we do trying to be pigs on every deal.
Somebody on here had asked if you guys want to put your contract or your contact information into the chat.
Yeah,
I know
and
we'll send out an email with everything, or Francis or Jeremy will shoot one out with all your stuff and all those links. And then I don't know if you can pop it in the chat and some people can cut it right now.
Yeah, I can do that right now. Again, I sent an email out to your team leads last week with everything.
Okay.
But our website's, I'll throw our website in there. It's very easy. It's contractfordeedllc.com. If you guys want to write it down, I'll put it in the group chat too. But my name is Mike. I'll give you my cell phone number, and I work 7 days a week. So I'm usually 9 a.m. to like 2 in the morning. So you guys are never bothering me. If you ever have a question, reach out. You'll get a response. That's for sure.
And if you do have a lot of clients that are Spanish speaking, our website has at the lower end, it has a tab that you can click to it. Everything changes to Spanish for them, so they can read through it in their own language and feel comfortable with what's going on.
All right, that's good information. So we got about 34 people were on the call earlier. Now there's about 31. So we just kind of gave a handful of people here your information. So we'll see what we got going forward. And I don't know, we probably have a company event coming up soon. So
yeah, we would love. I mean, we're all about that, guys. If you want to get together and do a happy hour somewhere, I mean, we'll pay for the happy hour. We'll take you guys out and allow you to get to know us a little bit. But that's what we're all about. We're normal people that want to help as many clients as possible. We like to have fun. So if you guys want to go grab a couple beers or something, just let us know. We'll set it up. Let us know a good day that works for you guys. We'll pay for it and we'll have some fun. So.
all right, you guys. So if anybody has any other questions, there's 5 things in this chat box. Let me just check and see if anybody had a question. Otherwise, I guess that was quite the weekend. We'll call it here and move on with our week. So it looks like it's
Randy,
people
just let me
thanking
know.
you and then you guys.
Yeah, I sent out that email to a few of you, the team leads here. I think it was end of last week or something like that. So please shoot it out to all your guys' team members. And if you guys have questions on that, again, reach out to me. I'm here to help. So whatever I can do. If you have like social media ideas or want to do a video, let me know. I love good content creation, so I can help y'all stick out for sure. So
yeah, I like that. There's a handful of people on here that might reach out for some creative ideas on marketing. So that's cool.
Yeah. And I got it in the email too. In that email that I sent you, I got 10 social media posts that you guys can start doing to stand out. So
okay, I'll follow up and get that out.
Perfect.
Appreciate you guys' time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate everything.
Okay, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.